Okay, we back. We back. We back. I got to type in the chat something, man. I don't know what happened. I was
I don't know.
back. Back. Type something. But yep, let me get that out of here. I sent the link back to everybody, so hopefully everybody get in soon. Okay, Nishimo says she here. All right, we back, y'all. We back, y'all. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I don't know what happened. Maybe we was getting ready to get it in. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna take that. Once everybody get back in, we gonna take that back. Okay, they go her sheep back. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, bro, I'm finna mute myself for 1 second, okay? Let
Okay.
me
I'm gonna
change
go
my
back to
headphones.
the video that I was playing with Trump while you doing that.
Okay, bro. All right.
All right. So we back. You know the devil busy. I know, right? So I'm gonna go back to that video we was playing with Trump Rossis get situated, and then we gonna get back to the show. Sorry for the misunderstanding there. Hope everybody can get back in the live, and we're gonna go ahead and finish the show. Let's run that back though.
Billions and billions of dollars of waste, fraud, and abuse. And I think it's very important. And that's one of the reasons I got elected. I said, we're going to do that. Nobody had any idea it was that bad, that sick, and that corrupt. And it seems hard to believe that judges want to try and stop us from looking for corruption, especially when we found hundreds of millions of dollars worth, much more than that, in just a short period of time. We want to weed out the corruption. And it seems hard to believe that a judge could say, we don't want you to do that. Well, so maybe we have to look at the judges because that's a very serious, I think it's a very serious violation.
And that's crazy. I want to stop that right there because that DV Wild Wild in the building. News was popping, Jay Rizzy was good, bro. Yeah, so it's just crazy that, like we were saying before we got interrupted, I don't know what happened, but welcome everybody back. Appreciate y'all slide back through Voices for the Voiceless. But yeah, a federal judge stopped Trump for momentarily stopped because they can't stop what he's doing when they're finding corruption in the government overspending. Then, the thing about it is, listen, if the president put in an executive order, who are you as a judge to put a stop on that executive order when they're finding corruption? What kind of, program they running on unless they are a part of the corruption? So what I say is get rid of them judges on the real. Because hey, if we find that it's some corruption being overspent, like we just read all that list, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna let it rock out a little bit because it's crazy.
There are good people who are in the federal bureaucracy, but you can't have an autonomous federal bureaucracy. You have to have one that's responsive to the people. That's the whole point of a democracy. And if you looked at this, if you asked the founders today and said, what do you think of the way things have turned out? Well, we have this unelected, fourth unconstitutional branch of government, which is the.
So what he just said right there is you got a lot of unelected officials that are controlling the ones that are elected, that are making the moves like a puppet behind the scenes, that are orchestrating all the corruption. So their hands are being hidden. They are the hidden hand that is moving all this corruption, and they're getting that money. Like all this money, you think they really sending money over to a transgender study in whatever country somewhere else? Nah, that's money laundering all day. But see, they write down all this miscellaneous BS to cover up what they really doing, which is feeding their pockets. You back, sis?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
The bureaucracy, which has, in a lot of ways, currently more power than any elected representative. And this is not something that people want. And it's not, it does not match the will of people. So it's just something we've got to fix. So what we're talking about here, we're really just talking about adding common sense controls that should be present, that haven't been present.
That's it. That's all. You just adding common sense, and I'm with that. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with adding common sense? Look, we spending all this extravagant amount of money at the taxpayer citizens' detriment. The people are struggling, and we might as well just cut all this stuff out. But you got the Democrats and the left getting mad. The Republicans, they ain't getting mad. What the Democrats mad about? Unless this how y'all get y'all money. Scamming, basically frauding the American people tax dollars. We work hard every day, you know what I'm saying, to provide for our family and contribute to society. So for our government to be misappropriating our tax dollars, everybody should be upset. Everybody should be livid. We you know what? They just stole so much money. I'm looking at these numbers. We shouldn't even have to pay no income tax. News, voices for the voices, you're getting feedback echo. Okay, let me fix that. Is that better? Let me know if that's better. But yeah, they want to keep their hands greased off our backs. But yeah, let me know if I'm still echoing. But yeah, I'm gonna present something else for y'all, man. And this right here is basically a short breakdown of what they've been doing, is how they've been spending. You know what I'm saying? So I want to this video. And shout out to the content creator. Okay, Rick. Oh, okay, it's only when I roll video. I'll make sure to mute up then. But yeah, shout out to OK Rick. And check this out.
And we're rocking and rolling, family. And we just keep winning, as you can see.
In just 25 days, Elon Musk's Doge has caused more panic in Washington than anything we've seen in decades. And when you see what they just uncovered about your tax dollars' secret connection to the Wuhan lab, you'll understand why. Here's a full breakdown. January 20th, 2025, Trump signs the executive order. Within hours, Musk moves into the Eisenhower building, sleeping on a couch, sometimes the floor. This isn't a consultant dropping by. This is a mission. And then it began. Doge begins accessing Treasury Department payment systems, freezes U.S. Agency for International Development, the U.S.
Multi-billionaire work. I want to just take that back a little bit because they said this man was sleeping on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Multi-billionaire, over $400 billion worth, came in, slept on the couch and the floor to take care of this business. And people mad at this man. I don't get it. But I just wanted to roll that back a little bit so we can hear that. We can't go past that. We gotta let that breathe a little bit.
See what they just uncovered about your tax dollars' secret connection to the Wuhan lab, you'll understand why. Here's a full breakdown. January 20th, 2025, Trump signs the executive order. Within hours, Musk moves into the Eisenhower building, sleeping on a couch, sometimes the floor. This isn't
sleeping on the couch. I had to pause that.
A consultant dropping by. This is a mission. And then it began. Doge begins accessing Treasury Department payment systems, freezes U.S. Agency for International Development, the U.S. aid funds you've been hearing about. Trump directs Doge to audit Pentagon spending. The federal workforce buyout program expires, with 77,000 employees accepting early exit offers. And then mass firings via Zoom. 2,000 at the Department of Energy, 3,000 at the Forest Service. 1,300 CDC staff are axed, and in many cases given just 30 minutes to clear their desks. Here are the agencies getting the worst of it. USAID, $2.5 billion frozen. Entire humanitarian aid budget suspended. Global programs halted. And wait until you hear what these programs were up to.
USAID has been out of control for decades.
The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the CFPB, complete paralysis. Their operations frozen, financial investigators fired, systems completely locked down. The GSA, General Services Mission, cut in half. And they manage federal real estate, by the way. And they're so inefficient, they're paying premium rates for empty buildings while housing programs go underfunded. Their budgets.
Man, they cut a lot of extra spending out. And they moving fast. You see how fast they moving, sis? Like,
Yeah.
cut a lot of that stuff in half because we paying for these buildings that for these people to be working there where they don't even want to go to work, but they getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to sit at home while the American people are trying to figure out where their tax dollars is going to. In these buildings that nobody are in, that we have to pay for the lights, we have to pay for the rental space. I mean, this is insane what they had us paying for. No wonder everybody, you know what I'm saying, going through it and trying to figure out why.
Yeah.
It slashed 64 billion to 32 billion. 12,000 employees on the chopping block, and regional offices condensed from dozens to just 5. And it doesn't
64 billion to 34 billion. They cut the deficit, the spending power from 64 billion to 62 to 34 billion that quick. Wow.
doesn't stop there. The EPA lost 104 diversity contracts. The Department of Education, the Institute of Education Sciences programs completely terminated, and the $50 million Climate Justice Alliance funding scrapped. These aren't just budget cuts. This is the largest government downsizing in American history. And while
note that the largest, you know what I'm saying, tax cuts in history. They making history with these tax cuts.
while this is happening, DOGE starts following the money, your tax dollars to be specific. And here's what they found. $697 million to Afghanistan, including weekly $40 to $80 million cash flights with zero oversight.
What? $697 million to Afghanistan weekly, $40 to $80 million cash flights with zero oversight. That's insane.
Think poppies for heroin production, $136 million
Heroin production, man.
for 120 Pakistani schools that were never built. $60 million annually for women's education in Taliban-controlled areas where women aren't even allowed to attend school. $20 million for Sesame Street in Iraq.
What? $20 million for Sesame Street. This where your tax dollars going to. When you look at your check and you be like, who is this? Taking out all this money out your check, this where it's going. So people in Iraq can have Sesame Street, Bert, Ernie, and Big Bird. We should be, I'm just saying, like, you tell me this is really what's going on. Like, how much does it cost to have Sesame Street?
Hey, and let's not forget too that they just uncovered $4.7 trillion that is untraceable.
That was the IRS.
Yep.
$4.7 trillion. Untraceable. Man, they doing the Watusi with our tax money. This is crazy.
You ought to be hotter than fish grease. Yes, you. All of us ought to be hotter than fish grease.
$2 billion in lost HUD money. That's enough to fund 100,000 first-time homebuyer loans. Instead, it sat in a forgotten account while housing affordability hit record lows. This money that they found in a forgotten account, it's your taxes literally misplaced by Biden. Quick question. If your accountant lost $2 billion, would you A, fire them, B, give them a raise, or C, let them work from home on Fridays? The government chose C.
And another one, $27 million was designated to so-called reintegration gift bags, which may even include a Barbie doll for deported Central Americans.
What?
Mm, mm, mm.
This is crazy. Like if you sit back and think about it, it's like these people sat back and just got high as hell and came up with these titles for their money laundering scheme. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we're gonna give deported Central Americans gift bags with some Barbie dolls in it. What? Yeah, let's give them about 57 million for that. Oh yeah, raise the taxes. Who cares? Right.
Think about this. Every time you pay taxes, $1 out of every $3 is being wasted or stolen. That's your money funding $50 million to boost tourism in Tunisia. That's enough to give every teacher in America a $1,500 raise. $50,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia. $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru.
A transgender opera, 50K. A transgender comic book in Peru, 32K. Okay, I see.
But wait, it gets darker, much darker.
There was also $68,000 awarded for dance classes in none other than Wuhan, China.
Just this week, in testimony before Congress, Senator Earn revealed something that should terrify every American taxpayer. Remember COVID? While you were locked down, losing your business, watching your kids struggle with remote learning.
We've known for a while that Dr. Fauci used NIH funding to finance bat coronavirus research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. But it took the watchdog White Coat Waste Project to expose evidence that USAID was funding it too.
Who the hell?
So basically, our tax dollars funded COVID-19 out of Wuhan, China. Thank you, Elon Musk, for letting us know that. That is, I ain't even never heard of Wuhan, China, but I do know that Dr. Fauci never been charged with nothing. He the one that came up with the vaccines for COVID-19. But I do know that Joe Biden gave him a preemptive pardon on his way out the door, out of office, for God knows who, but now we see why. This is why they did not want this man to get in office, because they didn't want this information to come out. And listen to the to the Democrats that are whining and boohooing and crying about it.
How does Musk think he is? He has absolutely no right in shutting down USAID.
Go put his hands behind his back. Go put his hands behind his back.
Now, why wouldn't we want to find out why our tax dollars is going to so much ridiculous places? Why are you trying to hide? Why are they trying to protest and hide the corruption that they've been doing? But you mad at Elon Musk. That's like being mad at somebody that you don't know where your money being drafted out of your account. And somebody say, man, I'm about to figure it out for you. This where your money going. And I know you can't see it, but I see it. This how you can stop it. But you don't get mad at the people that's taking the money. You get mad at the person that let you know who took it. That don't make no sense.
USAID.
And that's not just some conspiracy theory I came up with.
Obviously, this example you just gave of the Wuhan Institute of Virology is incredible. I mean, the fact it appears that the U.S. government funded the creation of the virus that caused the global pandemic.
According to congressional testimony, through layers of hidden subgrants and shell organizations, your tax dollars were funding gain-of-function research in China, the same research that might have started the pandemic.
Oh my God!
Evidence I'd love to hear.
There's a novel respiratory coronavirus overtaking Wuhan, China. What do we do? Oh, you know who we could ask? The Wuhan novel respiratory coronavirus lab. The disease is
Whoa, John.
the same name as the lab. That's just a little too weird, don't you think? And then I asked the scientists, they're like, how did this? So wait a minute, you work at the Wuhan respiratory coronavirus lab. How did this happen? And they're like, a pangolin kissed a turtle. And you're like, no.
The congressional investigation found they hid it for years.
It was hidden from the public through layers of unreported subgrants and subawards.
Funneled through front organizations like EcoHealth Alliance. The question we should really be asking isn't why U.S. AIDS grants are being scrutinized, but why it took so long. This isn't just about waste anymore. This is about a government using your money to fund potentially catastrophic research and then hiding it from you. So when critics scream about Doge having too much access, ask yourself, what else are they hiding? What else don't they want us to find?
Is it to avoid the public outrage over the waste, or is there something more nefarious there?
Because here's what the critics are screaming. Elon wasn't elected. He has too much power. This is a hostile takeover. First, the unelected argument regarding Musk.
No one elected Elon Musk and his minions.
Millions of federal employees weren't elected. Nobody elected Fauci. Nobody elected Jerome Powell. Nobody elected the IRS agents. Nobody elected the cabinet heads. Nobody elected the directors of the CIA, the FBI, or the CDC. So how did they get there? The people you did elect appointed them. Nobody had a problem when Ben Bernanke pumped trillions of dollars into the economy, but they do when this unelected person claws back millions in government waste. Musk just exposed $534 million a year to Taliban fighters' families, including those who killed U.S. troops, while Gold Star families get nothing. And someone in Washington is trying to hide it. And he's the guy you've got a problem with? Second, too much power?
Well, he is collecting all of the data.
Somebody please go arrest this criminal. Please. Make sure y'all walk her out, drag her out if you have to. I don't care if her wig falls off. I don't care.
Has violated our privacy. He has violated our privacy, and it keeps going.
While Google and Facebook have been mining your personal data for years, now critics are worried about transparency in government spending. Makes you wonder if the real issue is that Doge's audits might uncover some shady behavior, like Senator Mullen's 29% returns trading stocks tied to his own committee work. The third thing, the hostile takeover, we voted for this. Trump promised an efficiency panel led by Musk. We chose this mission. The swamp is just mad that we're following through. So why are there critics at all? Why are they really fighting this? Because for the first time ever, someone outside their control is accessing Treasury payment systems, auditing Pentagon spending, reviewing every dollar Congress never approved. And while career politicians who turned $100,000 into millions on government salaries cry about overreach,
we are prepared to fight.
I had to pause that right quick. Sorry about the echo. I think my mic is picking up the extra feed, so I have to mute up. Thanks for letting me know, sis Nisi. But what are these people so mad about? What they want to fight? They want to fight this man for finding corruption.
Yeah, because when you think about it, the corruption comes back to them. Like, who in their right mind would get mad? And even down to, like we were saying, like the judges that's really trying to block this man from doing his job. Like, all of these people for so long have been literally eating off the American people for years, and now it's gonna come to a halt. And now they're, but they can't even control themselves right now because they being exposed, Like, it makes no sense with the wasteful spending. And I don't even know if it's wasteful spending. That's just money laundering. You're stealing.
Exactly.
And you're just covering it up. It's no different than whenever, at the end of the year, I file my taxes. And if I file my taxes at the end of the year and I have a rental property, I mean, you could pretty much put, what you, want. As far as when it, trying to get either, a good tax return back or, or whatever, you can write a lot of things off. So that's exactly what these people, in my opinion, that they've been doing. But instead they will use, these big numbers as if they're sending money here and not expecting to get audited. They didn't expect Trump to get in office, and that's why they so mad.
Exactly, sis. Exactly. They didn't expect for them to go in and get it cleaned up so quick too. Because if you think about it, they just got in office. They've done a lot. Trump and his team have done a lot. It hasn't even been a month yet since January 20th. It'll be a month in a couple days on the, February 20th. And they have shooken down a whole organization with U.S. aid. Just like that. They probably weren't even anticipating that it'd have been that quick. They thought and I think that's why that federal judge wanted to put a pause on what Trump was doing so they could go in and try to clean up their dirt right quick. That's why that judge, now that I think about it, that makes sense. They think they could go in there, try to clean up their little mess right quick. Then when they come back, Trump won't find it, or Elon Musk and his team won't find it. But yeah, like you said, sis, we file our taxes. If we miss $200 on there, like we said earlier, they're gonna be trying to charge $2,000. They're gonna hit you with all type of, but we gotta play by the rules. While these people sit up here and break all the rules and steal the money and send it to themselves under false pretense with all these goofy, transgender and LGBT and all this, Sesame Street and Afghanistan type situations, while the American people are sitting here, that makes you just furious when you think about people just playing in your face like this.
And what make you even madder is to know that, and Trump said this back, he said it when he was talking about, like the COVID vaccine, when COVID was out and different things. And, you had all the governors wanting to shut all the cities down, and I mean the states, and it was just a lot going on. And to know that, the American people funded COVID, and you got people really thinking, like, people lost their lives. You had people, lost their loved ones, and the government literally played in our face the whole entire time. Like, and then you roll out a vaccine, and the vaccine that you roll out is, now now they're basically saying with the vaccine, with a lot of the side effects, now if you literally have any type of side effect from, and it's linked to the vaccine, you can't sue them.
Exactly.
Like, people should really be outraged about this. Like, put all the other stuff aside with, because I mean, you can only go off for Trump being racist for so long. Like, this man is really he's cracking some stuff open, and people, and I'm saying, like, this is just the beginning. Like, they haven't even probably scratched the surface yet.
Yeah, and I'm happy that you said that with the vaccine. I want to play a video right quick that kind of captures what you said with that, to dive in a little deeper. Let me see where that video at. Check this out, y'all. This is crazy. COVID-19. What they said, Wuhan, China. Crazy.
Fauci, when he was sitting there, that SOB knew for a fact that virus came from the Wuhan lab. He knew that because he had funded the gain of function research in that lab, and he had already begun to design a cover-up. And we know that from the emails he sent to a group of researchers, academics, trying to get their support to push that come from nature theory. And that's the biggest lie of omission in American history. Because if he had simply owned up to the fact that that thing came from the lab, we could have pressured the Chinese to give us the genome sequence, which would have allowed us to design an effective vaccine rather than the crap we wound up getting. And again, Trump got lied to about that. not just by Fauci, but by Pfizer, the drug company.
In what way?
They didn't disclose the side effects of that. And they weren't clear with him. They made him think that it was a true vaccine when it's not.
What you just say, sis? Now, I took the Pfizer vaccine. They was telling me that was the best one to take. Pfizer, I remember that. Now, he just said that wasn't even a real vaccine for that particular pandemic. But our tax dollars funded it. In Wuhan, whatever, China. Come on, people. You think I should run that back a little bit? Because you just said that shit. Let's run that back a little. Let's run that bit because he said a lot. He said a lot. And it get deeper.
Fauci, when he was sitting there, that SOB knew for a fact that that virus came from the Wuhan lab. He knew that because he had funded the gain of function research in that lab, and he had already begun to design a cover-up. And we know that from the emails he sent to a group of researchers, academics, trying to get their support to push that come from nature theory. And that's the biggest lie of omission in American history. Because if he had simply owned up to the fact that that thing came from the lab, we could have pressured the Chinese to give us the genome sequence, which would have allowed us to design an effective vaccine rather than the crap we wound up getting. And again, Trump got lied to about that, not just by Fauci, but by Pfizer, the drug company.
In what way?
They didn't disclose the side effects of that. And they weren't clear with him. They made him think that it was a true vaccine when it's not.
So I think that all the American people that were forced to take that, to keep they had a mandate to keep your job, you got to take this vaccine. To go in certain, establishment, you had to prove that you took the vaccine.
Well, with the in the hospitals, a lot of the nurses, that's why they lost, like the staffing was so low during that time, because they were trying to get like a lot of the doctors and the nurses. And remember, I told you that lady, I think she was a doctor, and she went in for COVID, and she was kind of warning people about COVID, and like the next day that lady had died, and she was warning everybody. So yeah, they were making people get vaccinated, even those in the military, where if you wasn't vaccinated, you pretty much got kicked out. So it really affected a lot of people, and they made it a mandate.
Yeah, that's insane, man. And to think, yeah, what Trump was trying to warn us, like, man, that's fake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And people was like, oh, he crazy. Ooh, he always saying something crazy. He was trying to warn us back then.
But bro, you know what? Me and you was listening though, remember? Because we kept talking about it. We kept saying, like, man, I don't know, like, even down to the numbers, and again, the media control everything. They were controlling the numbers, putting the fear in American people. So, man, if you don't get this vaccine, it's affecting all ages now. Because at first it was, the elderly people, and people that had underlying health condition. And then it started being like the younger, the younger generation. And so it was like it was just fear monger, and people were scared. So people went and got vaccinated. And so, yeah, Trump was telling us back then, though. He been saying a lot of stuff then that's happening now.
Yep. Man, shout out to Muse Black. Bro said, wow, shaking my head. I had to for my job. Many of my coworkers got fired. See what I'm saying? A lot of people had to take it for their job. People didn't want to take it. They got fired. that should be the biggest lawsuit.
So, mm.
The whole country needs to be reprimanded, retribution for this. This was a man-made disease. And then the question is, why would Joe Biden pardon this Dr. Fauci? Now we know the reason why. That was a man-made, orchestrated hit on the American people.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on, people in the chat? What's up? D-Map, Zoom in the building. Yeah, I'm going to let this play out a little bit more because it get a little deeper. Let me pause this. I know the echo going to kick in, so I'm going to pause up right quick.
It's not.
Okay, wow. Wow. So you're telling me we now know with certainty that close to 19 million human beings died because of something that Dr. Fauci secretly, illegally paid for, and then secretly, illegally covered up, and then got a lifetime pardon from Joseph piece of crap Biden. We now know that Pfizer lied to the sitting president of the United States. They lied to the American people about the horrible, damaging side effects. And nobody gives a damn. Nothing happens. Life just goes on. Well, I just want.
I'm telling you, if that right there don't send you through the roof, if that, when he just broke it down, when you think about it, that man got a lifetime pardon for a man-made disease that he knew he didn't have the cure for or the proper vaccination for. Lied to the American people, lied to the president. I'm just saying, sis. But I
And
mean,
just think how many lives was lost. This man got a lot of blood on his hands,
yeah,
because it was a lot of people that even died from getting the shot. Like, you know, they were telling people, like, oh, you got to go get this shot, da 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 da. Because I know one of my friends, one of her relatives, after he took the shot, they told him he needed to get the COVID shot, da 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 da. Like 3 days later, that man was dead. And they said it came from the COVID shot. Like it's just like I feel like at this point, y'all, it need to be a lot of people. And it wasn't just, it's like it probably, that rabbit hole probably runs so deep with a lot of these people that was connected and had something to do with this vaccine. Because I'm telling you, it was just, I've never seen them trying to push something on people. Like, how do you you don't even push that, like the flu vaccine like that, but they were really pushing the COVID vaccine for everybody to get it. And then when you think about it, people weren't dying from pneumonia no more. They weren't passing away from the flu. They weren't passing away from cancer. They weren't. Everything was COVID.
everything was COVID. I remember they was telling morgues if they didn't know the cause of death just to put down COVID.
Yep.
Because that's how they was getting the money on the back end. If they got more deaths from COVID, then they get more funding. It was all a money play. And he said 19 million Americans died. Like you said, sis, that's a lot of blood on that man's hands. And he's somewhere with a full lifetime pardon.
Full lifetime party.
Yep. And yeah, let me go back a little bit because Queen Nishimo said something. Do you remember they took Trump from the White House and gave him the first vaccine? I don't remember that.
I don't need them.
Yeah, I didn't remember that. I thought he didn't take it. But yeah, a lot of us deal with upper respiratory situations. Fact. Bro Lex say his wife works with veterans in home health and they tried to make her take it. Meanwhile, she ended up turning it down because her director of nursing didn't want to take it. Man, blessing she didn't take it. Yeah, blessing.
But you notice now, remember, everybody had to take the COVID shot. Everybody in it. you don't hear have you don't it's you see it's not mandatory anymore, right? You
Not
don't hear them
mandatory.
pushing. It's not mandatory anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I showed them. I showed what me and you was talking about it, sis. I'm like, I ain't taking that. But you know, I got to fall victim to my listen to my mom, and you know, I'm like, man, she's like, boy, you ain't gonna be able to come to my house. You ain't take that shot. And then in situations like that, you know, I'm just so my mama older lady, you know, I want her to feel comfortable, but I wasn't gonna take it if my mama ain't tell me to.
Yeah, but you knew what I knew then. I said, you know, I think I already had COVID before they actually really released that it was COVID. Like, you know, just basically telling people it was COVID because I was sick. And I'm like, you know, I'm not getting that because I already got the antibodies in me. I had COVID like probably like 3 times. And I'm talking about I was sick, sick, sick. All my family members, you so stupid, you should get the shot. Donna, I'm like, I'm not getting it. Like me and we was like, we're not getting it because for the simple reason, like, even if you get the COVID shot, how is it benefiting you? Like, how is it really benefiting? You still can get COVID, you know?
Exactly.
You still
And then
can get it. So it was no purpose of like me even saying, oh, well, let me go ahead and get this shot because if I get it, it's not like I can't give it to somebody else. That's what made no sense to me. But they pumped the heads of the American people up to make them feel like, oh, well, you know, if you get it, this is one way to save your life from from the possibilities of, you know, this, that, and the third, especially people that had underlying health conditions. So they were really like afraid. And I'm like, man, I'm like, this something ain't right about this. And I just said then, like, nah.
yeah, it's crazy. But you know, that's just one aspect of this whole situation with this, you know, wasteful spending of government corruption. But I want to go on here to another video right quick. You know what I'm saying? Just to go back to, you know, some of the spending and some of the stuff that these people were spending our tax dollars on. It's just crazy. Uh, what was that? What was that video? Okay, here you go. Here.
Winter is coming. Winter's coming, though, ladies. USAID over the past several years, these are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either, and that's exactly what Elon Musk has been tasked by.
Shout out to Caroline Levin. You know what I'm saying? That's the new Speaker of the House, Trump's new Speaker of the House. I want to run that back just so y'all can hear exactly what she said, what they spend the money on. Just it's amazing.
USAID over the past several years, these are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either, and that's exactly what Elon Musk has been tasked by President Trump to do, to get the fraud, waste, and abuse out of our federal government.
Yeah, man. Salute to you, brother Muse. Asthmatic. Yeah. Hey, man, stay on them herbs, man. We got to you know what I'm saying, medicate ourselves out here, man, because they, you know, it's just crazy to think about all the stuff that, you know, they spending and wasting money on our tax dollars. And this lady just, you know, broke it down. Yeah, sis, she's absolutely an awesome Speaker of the House. I really like her, and I love the new Attorney General, Pam Bondi as well. Like, man, that they dope. But yeah, like Caroline Levitt, she just broke it down real short, simple. Elon Musk been given an assignment that he's not even getting paid to do. Man, I'm so happy that we know this information. You know what I'm saying? Because imagine if Kamala Harris had got elected, we wouldn't know none of this. They wouldn't go in there and break down the government and what they doing and what they spending and all that. You know what I'm saying? It would have been more of the same if had that lady been elected. She would have been doing the same thing Joe Biden was doing. Nothing.
hmm Well, being a part of it, the reign leader. So, of course, yeah. And now it make you wonder why they left that border open. Cause think about it. When you think about when we was talking about with COVID, like how we, a lot of people was talking about depopulation, and you had a lot of people that passed away from COVID, bro. So sometimes it make you wonder, like, was it kind of all pre-planned to happen that way? Because shortly after we got over COVID, that's when the border was just, well, I think it was already, I don't know during COVID, but I think it shortly after that, they opened the border. So it just kind of make you wonder, like,
We had so
we
many
we
crises going on
yeah
simultaneously. You had the
yeah
border crisis.
we've unalived so many of the American people, because if we probably take a wild guess and just think about the people that really did lose their life to COVID, like, was this leaving that border open? Was it kind of like a replacement, but also uh to, because mind you, they get good money off of those migrants too that are here in the United States. So when you really think about that, like, they really finessed us big time. They did.
Yeah.
It's a reason for that border, like them leaving that border open like that. And on top of that, remember, election time. You understand? They knew election time was going to come up and look at the stuff that they tried to pull over our heads, but it didn't work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I never trusted the vaccine. Just build up your immune system and you'll be fine. Exactly. Exactly. We're gonna get back into this video with some more crazy information that comes out.
All right, so the Department of Government Efficiency has been a thing for about 2 weeks now. And I wanted to come on here and just talk about a few of the budget cuts that they have made, because some of them are actually insane. First off, the American taxpayer was paying $1.4 million a year to fund the National Bubble Wrap Stress Relief Study to find out if popping bubble wrap actually reduced stress. Next up, we were paying $2.3 million a year to fund the Federal Balloon Animal Trading Academy, teaching clowns how to fold up balloon animals. Next up is the National Pretzel Untwisting Initiative, which was costing us $600,000 a year to untwist pretzels for research purposes.
Do you hear this? The untwist pretzel research. Like, I'm gonna let them continue.
And last but not least, the National Ice Cream Cone Structural Integrity Lab, costing taxpayers $700,000 a year, basically just studying the structural integrity of ice cream cones. I mean, my God, after finding out what the government's been wasting our money on, I'm coming to the realization that the Department of Government Efficiency should have been a thing like decades ago. And shout out to the Doge update guy for all of this information.
This is what Democrats are fighting to save. $20 million for Iraqi Sesame Street, $2 million for Moroccan pottery classes, $11 million to tell Vietnam to stop burning trash, $27 million to give gift bags to illegals before we deport them, millions to help Afghanis grow crops instead of opium. That program was such a success that opium production doubled. We also gave Afghanistan $300 million to build diesel fuel power plants, but they couldn't use them because diesel was too expensive. $200 million on a dam that was too unsafe to ever be used. We could have used that dam in California. $250 million on a road that was never used. We literally built a road to nowhere. Oh, and we gave Syrians $9 million for humanitarian aid, but someone messed up and it went to Al-Qaeda. $1 million for bat research in Wuhan. That equates to $1 million for each dead American. USAID was funding Fashion Week in Paris. France isn't even paying its NATO dues, and we're paying for their Fashion Week. USAID's a $40 billion deep state social justice slush fund.
Do y'all remember that one time when we gave $200 billion of our taxpayer money to this dude right here? Y'all remember that? Well, I mean, we didn't do it technically. We never even asked for it. Instead, they did it. And, you know, the old man that was propping himself up to be the president, they gave upwards to $200 billion of our money to this dude right here. Well, it turns out that this dude right here, somehow doesn't know where the money went. That's right.
Remember we were sending all that money to Ukraine? That's the president of Ukraine, Zelensky. Now he talking about he don't know where the money is at. Over $100 billion. And he said he only can account for like 70 million of it. What? I remember one time they sent that man $14 trillion. I remember Joe Biden and him was sitting there on the press conference and he gave him the money. He flew back to Ukraine. We seen this in real time, but he doesn't know where the money is at. Crazy.
I don't believe it.
I don't either.
I don't know if I believe it. I believe he know what he know, because ain't nowhere in the world the American. I mean, I'm just saying, every time Joe Biden would send money, you know, he would let everyone know that the amount of money he's sending. And you mean to tell me? I mean, for me as a president, I'd have been like, you're not sending that kind of money over here. Like, that's not what I'm receiving. But now, yeah, I don't believe it. I believe he know.
He definitely know. Muse say, nah, Brother Crux, I'm in love with our press secretary. For real, every time I hear her. Yeah, shout out to Carolyn 11. Hey, man, I told you, bro. The conservative women hit different, bro. I bet he'll find it if Trump dropped Putin in the room with him. Yeah, he gonna find it real quick.
Yeah.
That's right, folks. Out of $177 billion that was sent over to our buddy Zelensky over here, turns out that only around 70 billion, a measly little $70 billion, actually showed up in his bank account. And now he's asking the question we should all be asking ourselves. Where did the money go? Now, some of us have our own theories. Some may call them conspiracy theories that are probably going to come out to be just the actual story of what happened to this money. But it's interesting how you now have the very individual who was benefiting from unearned money, our money, mind you, because somebody did earn it. They're called the American taxpayer base. They're called the American people, right? We paid for the continuation, the perpetuation of this war, right? I guess out of the goodness of our hearts, supposedly. And now, more than $100 billion of our money has somehow gone missing.
This is absolutely insane. Thank God for those. I don't care who you voted for. You have to be glad that the United States government is finally being audited by somebody. You see all this money? Ooh. And in response to this, the DNC are being consummate professionals.
To see some of the Democrats' staggering talent, they held auditions to run the DNC. Here was the first question.
So I'm going to, I have a show of hands. How many of you believe that racism and misogyny played a role in Vice President Harris's defeat? Okay. So that's good. You all passed.
They still don't get it. They still don't get the fact that Kamala was just a terrible candidate. Honestly, this may be God-given. Because if Kamala wasn't so terrible, there wouldn't have been so many people who voted Republican this year that previously voted Democrat their entire lives. And if Trump never became president, we wouldn't get Doge and all that shit they were talking about that we've been paying for the past God knows how long, unchecked, all because nobody has gone through and made this shit transparent. You have to be happy this is happening right now. But
And there you have it. There you have it. He said it right there. If we never got Doge in there to shake this and audit this government spending down, we would not have a clue on what happened. If Kamala Harris would have won, we would be in another war. We were on the brink of World War III, if you remember. Biden gave Ukraine the right to fire United States missiles at Russia, but instead we have Trump in office who is talking to Putin and got him under control. You know what I'm saying? And he's also working out other things where he's getting the hostages home from Hamas. So he's ending the war, which is also saving us money. You know, so I'm grateful that Trump won and Elon Musk is in there doing this thing. And this is only 3 weeks into the office that we see what's going on. They just getting started, y'all. This is only the beginning. This is the tipping of the iceberg. Like Mika said earlier, they're shaking down the IRS and found $4.7 trillion that they can't even trace. This is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely crazy, man. Like, but you know, me and you had been talking about this, and I was telling you like something ain't right, you know, like all this money being sent, and you know, we would discuss this before, you know, Trump even got in office, like, you know, even during the election time, and I was saying like this got to be some money laundering going on, like this something ain't right. There's no way sending all this money, and as you can see what's going on around us, you got the migrants that's flooding in, and we having to fund the migrants, and you saying you sending all this money to Ukraine and all this, and I'm like, something ain't right. It just ain't right. The math just ain't math.
It just ain't math. I want to play another video now. And despite the Democrats sitting up here talking about, fighting against Trump and Elon Musk finding all this corruption, and you got Democratic federal judges trying to put a stop to this. And I'm gonna drop the link because we at the hour mark. But I want to play this little clip right here. If anybody want to come up, but after this clip and express y'all views. But just check out how the Democratic leaders, Barack Obama and Joe Biden, were actually saying that they wanted to do everything that Trump is actually doing. Check this out.
Your very own all-star leaders like Barack Obama, Joe Biden, and Bill Clinton all advocated for this very same thing. Check out this clip right here.
Budget reform is not an option. It's a necessity.
The American people are entitled to transparency.
We can't sustain a system that bleeds billions of taxpayer dollars on programs that have outlived their usefulness or exist solely because of the power of politicians, lobbyists, or interest groups.
They're entitled to be able to figure out where their dollars are going, and they're entitled to accountability to make sure that we're using the dollars for what we said it was for.
We are going to go through our federal budget, as I promised during the campaign, page by page, line by line, eliminating those programs we don't need and insisting that those that we do need operate in a sensible, cost-effective way.
What should be easy is getting rid of the pointless waste and stupid spending that doesn't benefit anybody.
We hope to be instilling an entire new culture that not only our administration, but every succeeding administration will in fact pursue.
No amount of waste is acceptable, not when it's your money.
We all know that government can be inefficient. We all know that the bureaucracy can be bloated. We all worked in the White House. We tried to reorganize the.
Now, ain't that nothing right there? You had Barack Obama and Joe Biden sitting up there talking about not wasting taxpayers' dollars on overspending, and they mad at Trump for doing everything that they said that they were going to do. He's actually doing it.
Mm-hmm.
What
well, you know,
hypocrisy.
they was just putting on a show, you know, to make the American people think. Because, you know, I mean, it sounds so believable, you know. And, you know, people, it just sounds believable. Like, oh, yeah, you know, President, you know, Obama, he's trying to crack down and see why American dollars are going and da, 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 da. And Trump is actually, you know, he a man of his word. He making it happen. All that fluff they was talking was just word salad, if you ask me.
Exactly. Yeah, so I dropped the link. Yeah, at the hour mark, anybody want to come up? But yeah, I thought that was just interesting to note. Like Sis said, they were just putting on. You know what I'm saying? It sound good, but Trump was actually doing what they said that they were going to do, and now they boo-hooing and crying about it.
The government. We tried to find efficiency. It's hard to do.
And honestly, some of this is pretty annoying because it's some of the stuff we should have done.
And if you're not convinced of that, how about Mr. Slick Willie himself, Mr. Budget Surplus, Bill Clinton? Check this clip out.
First, I am ordering a reduction of the federal bureaucracy by at least 100,000 positions over the next 4 years. At least 10% of these cuts must come from senior management. These cuts will make our government more efficient and more effective. The government is full of dedicated people whose hard work is being choked off by our own bureaucracy.
I don't know, that a lot of that sounds really, really familiar, does it not? Doesn't that sound almost exactly verbatim to what Trump and Elon Musk have said? What Doge has said? I'm wondering, why is it okay for your guys to do it, but it's not okay? This is the Hippocrat playbook. I see what it is. This is the hypocrisy knows no bounds. Good for me, but not good for thee. Is that what it is? This is just the typical kind of Democratic playbook. I see what it is. Okay. By the way, if you want a good indication as to whether or not you're on the right path or the right track, whether or not USAID is funding fraud, look at this Google search graph right here. So this is a graph that shows the amount of interest in a search query on Google, which is the number one, pretty much everybody, you and I, our mothers, sisters, neighbors, friends, everybody on the planet uses Google for search, right? Pretty much primarily. Nobody uses Yahoo or Bing, right? Well, guess what? The District of Columbia, Washington, D.C., has a number one keyword search score for the term, get this.
Hello, Mark Barden here from Sandy Hook Promise. On December 14th, 2012.
Criminal defense lawyer. Ding, 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 ding. Tell him what you want, Bob. Bob's won a brand new toaster. Look at this. The amount of homes that have gone up for sale in the month of February are record breaking. The rats are fleeing the sinking ship. The housing market in DC is literally crashing right this very second because all of these homes have just gone on the market. It is absolute insanity. And other search terms are coming up too, by the way, like wired money, not just criminal defense attorney, but wired money, lawyer, all of those search terms combined with this insane market collapse in the housing market in DC. I mean, if that doesn't spell guilty, I don't know what does. And in the spirit of true transparency, Elon Musk just released this Social Security.
Now, this is crazy right here. Now, I want everybody to pay special attention to this. This is crazy. They have people that are 120 years old, all the way up to 300 years old, that are still receiving Social Security benefits. They got the numbers and everything from the ages and how many people are receiving it. Look at this list. 100 to 109. Okay, people can live to be 109. 4,734,407 people from 110 to 119. Who gonna live that long? But 3,627,007. 120 to 129. 3 million people. 130. 100 to 139. Almost 4 billion people. So somebody is actually walking on this earth that's 140 years old. They got it all the way down to 180 years old receiving Social Security benefits. So we know these people are not alive. So who in the hell is receiving these Social Security benefits in these dead people's name at the taxpayer dollars expense? This is crazy.
Fraud graph right here. People who are collecting Social Security over the age of 110. I don't know any 110-year-olds. Do you? Are in the millions. Look at these numbers right here. I mean, let's just sake of argument say, okay, fine, 110, 120, which is insane. Okay, we'll let that go. You mean to tell me there are over 4 million people who are collecting Social Security that are over 140 years of age? Are you out of your mind? Do you think we are donkeys over here? Are you kidding me right now? And then I have to point this out. Who in the world are these two people that are over 240 years old? I need to find them and I need to find them stat because obviously they've tapped into the fountain of youth. We need to make common sense go viral, my fellow Americans, my fellow global citizens. Because I know we have such an amazing. Let me know where you're joining from too. I love hearing from you guys. We have a great.
Shout out to Professor Nez. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? We got people that's 240 to 350 years old out here receiving Social Security benefits. Oh my God, man. I mean, I'm just saying, wasteful spending or government corruption. I think it's a little bit of both, sis.
I told you. I think it's a little bit of both. Uh, yeah. Because I mean, when you really just like this stuff that's really being broken down to us, like I don't understand how people could still really have the same mindset that they did with voting. You know, uh when Kamala was literally like running for president, and to know that she and so many of these other politicians, and including not just Democrats, Republicans too, um, that have literally like been a part of this organization. This is like the biggest scam in history, I believe. Like, there's no other way. Like, we can look at all like pharmaceutical and all this other stuff, which I think all of it plays a part. But these politicians, and these are the same people that will literally fine you for littering, throwing a piece of paper out the window, you know? And you sitting here like literally like scamming and just stealing from people. Like just flat out just stealing from people. And people working 2 and 3 jobs to make ends meet, you know? They trying to
Exactly.
take care of their family. You know, they robbing Peter to pay Paul. Like the jobs are not like they, once was. Everything is going up, but except for your money and your pay. Like this is crazy. This is yeah.
Yeah. What up, Big Bad in the building? What's good? What's good? Yes, indeed. If you're here and you're new to the channel, Voices for the Voiceless, we appreciate it if you press the like button, subscribe, and share so we can spread the word. Yes, indeed. But yeah, but yeah, this is crazy. And I wanted to share one more video here, and it's on a brighter note on what Trump's plans are for the people. And I think that it's good to go ahead and get some good news after all this bad news. And this is a huge blessing that I'm hoping that it comes to fruition here.
This is from a viewer who reached out to me. She's in Cape Coral, Florida, and she says, Harris, could the government give all the taxpayers a refund from the money they're finding that went to places it never should have gone?
Yes, that is the next step, and that is the next natural step. When you are finding all of this money, when you are taking it back, when you are cutting off future streams of funding, give that back to the American people. Then you will see the economy absolutely explode, and people will once again be able to take out new loans and start new businesses and all the wonderful things that follow when they have more of their own money.
Please, can we shut down CNN, MSNBC, ABC, the fake news media? Look at this lady here with them shoulder pads. Oh, line.
Okay, Rick, man, he funny as hell to me. But yeah, so I think that I want to run that back. You know what I'm saying? I just want to run that back and see that question one more time.
This is from a viewer who reached out to me. She's in Cape Coral, Florida. And she says, Harris, could the government give all the taxpayers a refund from the money they're finding that went to places it never should have gone?
Yes, that is the next step, and that is the next natural step. When you are finding all of this money, when you are taking it back, when you are cutting off future streams of funding, give that back to the American people. Then you will see the economy absolutely explode, and people will once again be able to take out new loans and start new businesses and all the wonderful things that follow when they have more of their own money.
Please.
Hey, sis.
Hey, sweetie. How y'all feeling?
Good,
I can
good, good.
I can
Can
hear
you hear?
now. I can hear you now.
Okay. Big Vi
Yeah.
was up here, but did he leave? I think he might have dropped off. If you did, Big Vi, come on back up.
Oh, my bag. I was muted. What's going on,
Yeah, 'cause
sis?
I couldn't hear anything. Hey, my brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
What you
gosh.
think about all this wasteful spending, this
I
corruption?
well, I'm just glad it's being exposed, and it should have been exposed long before now. And and I think that when President Obama and Biden was speaking about it, I think they may have had good intentions on doing the things that needed to get done, which is what President Trump is actually doing. And if y'all remember when Clinton was in office, Clinton did he started to do some cleanup work and get some of the things cleaned up because the budget cuts was I mean he did a lot of budget cuts and a lot of people was actually doing very well under his presidency. I mean, very, very well. A lot of people started their businesses. A lot of businesses was flourishing and growing. And I can honestly say oil and gas was doing absolutely wonderful during his time of being president. And but I think when Obama them they got in there, greed sits in, and you start um, looking at how good the money is. But what people fail to realize and understand when it comes to Donald Trump is not getting, he's not getting a salary. He didn't get a salary before, and he's not getting a salary now. So for people to say, well, he's looking out only for his rich friends, him and his rich friends, that's not so, because Elon Musk is not taking anything either. This man is working solely for the people and sleeping on the couch, as we seen, and bringing his son to the Oval Office. And I know a lot of people had a problem with that. And when you have problems about the little minor things, then you're literally trying to cover up the big things of what's actually important. And what should be important at this time is what's been exposed to them for the American people. And nothing has been hidden from anybody. It's all out there for everyone to see.
Absolutely, absolutely. We got Big Bad in the building. What's up, Big Bad?
What up? What up?
Hey, Big Boy.
What's going on, man?
Hey, nephew.
Bruh. Hey, that link I dropped in the chat, bro. Just hearing the list of shit that, like, did you see that video?
I gotta try to bring it up.
Man, listen at the shit that the money, like where the money, all this money that these people are collecting in Social Security, 100% of that money is being spent in other countries.
Wow. Yeah, for some reason it's not letting me click on it, but yeah, I mean, what we have, what we have here, you know what I'm saying? And like Sir Miguel said, this spending has been going on for years. There's nothing new under the sun. What's sad is all the people in Congress got crazy. So
Hold on.
that's that right there is very true. But to have a government that is being very transparent, not only are they, you know, not only are they uncovering it, but they have a website where everybody can go to see exactly what they're doing. So the transparency, I don't think we ever had an administration that is doing what
No,
Elon Musk
no.
and those.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Okay, I got the thing. I'm gonna try to send it
Now,
so
what
I
I
can pull
like,
it up.
what I can say is that we have witnessed um, senators and Congress people that come into these offices, poor, broken, hungry, and they leave out of there millionaires. And I don't think no one has ever questioned that.
Mhm.
But it has always been something in the back of my mind how these people come in one way and leave out another way.
Exactly.
And
But
remember
doing nothing
earlier,
for the
bro.
community. Nothing for the community. Nothing. You're not bringing anything back to like Al Green. Al Green running around here, y'all, and he is actually over my area, but I don't even see this dude. He's everywhere but where he's supposed to be.
Yeah. Looking at what Sir Miguel put in the chat when he said the spending has been going on for years. It's nothing new under the sun. I said that earlier today, though. Like I think it probably go back so far with just this spending. We just, it's just really being brought to light,
Well,
and
tell
nobody,
they
huh?
told you how far it go back. If they say they got a motherfucker living 300 and some years old, they tell you how far it go back. Shit. It's
Yeah,
right in it. They put it in your face.
yeah. But yeah, it's just really been going on for quite some time now. It's just the fact that I know a lot of people don't care for Trump. I love him. I think he's the best president since I feel like that I'll probably ever see in my lifetime because of everything that this man has endured and the things that he's doing to try and hopefully get our country back. on track because of the
Now
misuse of
buy
the
our
spending.
country back. That's what you mean.
Yeah,
Buy
that's true. Buy it back. You might as well say that. That's true. But just the things that he's doing, and the fact that this man don't even get the presidential pay. I know the first time he just donated it. So he's not in it for the money. His billionaire friends and this, that, and the third, they got enough money. This man probably got enough money. He don't even have to for his great great grandchildren and great great grandchildren. Like he do this, I think, because he loved this country. And I really appreciate him and his administration for what they're doing.
and he didn't just start talking about the love that he had for the American people since he started running for president. If you can go back years when
Now,
this man was speaking up on behalf of the American people.
guess what I just did, right? Now y'all seen this that y'all seen the Social Security thing, right? So what I did was I was just thinking to myself, now you go do the math. Do the math from the 17th century to now. It's 300 and some odd years. How long this shit been going around, like going on?
Uh-huh.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, I got it queued up here. If I just send me this, so we're gonna check this video out and just let me know. I'll pause it at any moment to elaborate.
Situation. Yeah, please.
In a court filing, the White House said that Elon Musk is not a Doge employee and has no authority to make decisions. Can you clarify for us today
Well,
what
Elon
his
Musk.
exact role is there?
Yeah. Elon is, to me, a patriot. So, you could call him an employee, you could call him a consultant, you could call him whatever you want. But he's a patriot. I mean, look at the kind of things I just said. Just write it down, just in case that question got asked, right? And which I'm surprised it took so long, actually. But you know what? Ukraine's a bigger deal because people are dying by the thousands a week, thousands. But look at this, from 90 to 99, Social Security, 6,054,000 people. Well, that's okay. Maybe that's possible. 90 to 99, maybe it's possible. It's a lot of people, though, at that. But people that live to 100 to 109, 4,734,000. Wow, that's a lot. That means over 100 years old. They're 4 million people. I don't know too many. I know people that are doing great in their 90s, but not too many people over 100. But over 120, from 120 years old, people that are 120 years old up to 129, 3,472,000 people. Wow. That can't possibly be because the record is like, I think it's one person, a woman lived to 127, but they have 3,472. Okay, but now we're going really in. People from 130 years old to 139-year-old, 3,936,000. Wow. I wonder if people are getting paid with all this. I mean, are these checks? And that's what we're checking right now. People from 140 years old to 149 years old, 3,542,000.
Yes, it has been verified.
140
Those
years
checks
old.
are going to
And
somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Those checks are going to several somebodies. Several somebodies.
Yo, Greg Cash in the building. What up? What up? Yeah, we know somebody getting that money, man. They ain't just sending.
I mean, we've seen this firsthand, y'all, and it ain't Social Security, and but it's this man's masters. When this man went for his masters, they got angry and mad and locked him up. So I don't care nothing about, baby, none of this here. What these people said, I believe it wholeheartedly. Because if y'all can do this to us when in our face, y'all can do it behind our face.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I say this, and this is something I said, past on one of my lives, being where I'm from. I know my great grandma passed away my great granny passed away in 2000. and like she was still getting voter registration. So what that tell you?
Bingo. I was just
Mm-hmm.
saying that. I was about to say that too. I had said earlier
My
today
daddy was
that
still getting his license sent to him because he didn't have to go in anymore, so they was still sending him his license.
And so you got to make sense of this, right? When you die, the death, in order to get a death certificate, you have to file it through the state that
Exactly.
the death was in. So how are y'all still sending out voter registrations and all this shit, and y'all then sent the death certificate confirming that?
But
Hey,
Vi,
this
it's something you just said, what people not paying attention to. You gotta still, and it's something that we did have not put to connections to. You said the death certificates. Mind you, the death certificates come from the funeral homes and stuff. These funeral homes, uh, governors, uh, prosecutors, all of these people connected some way or fashion, and they are keeping the money flow going. They got to keep the money flow going.
Mm-hmm.
Some they send in and some they don't.
and it also it get deeper. It's so much deeper when we talk about the Social Security Administration, because you know that they over like the Title 4D, all this different shit. Like the Child Support Enforcement Agency is under the Social Security Administration. Well, all this shit is under the Social Security
All
Administration.
of it is connected.
So
Mm-hmm.
you ask,
The
like,
prison system.
and then when people come out and people come out and they speak about and speak against these people, when they say, like, ask yourself, how how do how how do you get a Social Security number? Like, why do you gotta have a Social Security number? What's the purpose of it?
Hmm.
What are they doing? You know,
Tracking you.
and I asked somebody this shit. I remember a while ago because I was talking, even Dana J, and me and him was speaking about it before, and like when you don't reclaim your birthright
Mm-hmm.
at birth, when them people attach that Social Security number to you, you no longer property of your parents. You become property of the Social Security Administration,
Of the state. You're part of the
which
state.
give them freedom to do whatever they choose to do with with your Social Security number, which it's been alleged that they use these Social Security numbers as bank accounts to do trades and all different shit with other countries.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something that's been going on. And then when you go and get your birthright, you go back and reclaim your birthright. Like, it's a lot of stuff that goes on that we the people, we just don't have the understanding of it. Like, but then, like, for me, on my behalf of it, like, when I started to learn about different things and the things that fascinated me, and it made me realize, like, I'm from the country. So, like, every time the Caucasian people would have kids, like, it was always in the newspaper. It was always in the newspaper. And we just never understood that. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, why they putting the baby in the newspaper? But that's how you claim your birthright.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make an announcement. Like, you can divorce somebody and never even have, if you can put it in the newspaper. You can put it in the newspaper. If that person don't respond back in an adequate amount of time, you can win a divorce by just because you published it. Like,
Yep.
this shit is so, like, it's a lot of different shit that this world has going on, that some people just, you got some people that's on the surface, some people above it, some people below it. And at the same time, like,
and
and
think
then it
about
was
it,
like
Vi.
they talked about that. Like, why do now, if you have a kid, Do Nisimo, you have kids? Shamika, do you have kids?
Yeah, I do.
Do you have any of your children's placenta?
I do. But I do my son.
Now, this is something that alleged that they keep that as a like as proof, you know what I'm saying, of your child birth. And like every woman should,
But you can ask for it though. You could get it.
every woman, you shouldn't have to ask for that.
Yep.
It's yours.
They should give it to you. Yep.
It's man, it's these systems and different things, and you gotta understand we were dealing with people. We dealing with people who were like these people were they were here before us, so they were ahead of us. So we coming behind, trying to catch up. You talking about centuries ahead of us to where we at now. And now that you see centuries of centuries of like just wrongdoing being uncovered, people they don't want to see that. They don't want to accept it. They don't
No,
want to
they
come
don't
to
want to
grips with
accept
it.
it. No,
You know
because
what I'm
it's
saying?
going to expose them.
But
It's
then y'all, if you really think about it, Vi, the stuff that you breaking down and what you saying, and how like with us, having a social security card and having gaining the citizenship. But when you really think about it, y'all, the migrants that come over here, they don't have no social.
no. And
They don't have
you
no
want to know
social.
something
I
that's even
already
They
told
don't.
scary?
y'all what
And
they tell them
go
a
ahead.
time that they if they're asked when were you born? When is your it's always at the beginning of the year or at the end of the year. It's never in the middle.
And guess what their
But
nationality be when you look on the ID card?
Everybody don't know that's Greg Cash that's Kingpin in the chat. He said, "What
What
up?"
up,
hey,
Greg?
bro.
What up, Kingpin? Now, how many white Muslims have you seen?
Hmm.
How many white Africans have you seen?
Hmm.
If you got some of them kind of friends, ask them to see they driver license or they ID or something, and look at their race on there.
But the point is, they come here, and these people are getting a check every single month. They're
Not
getting
only that,
benefits.
they come here. They can go and they can come here today, t- tonight, and come in your community tomorrow and get a loan to open up a
Sure
store on a
can.
corner where you grew up in. Every day watching this one, black owned business struggle to stay open. And these
Mm-hmm.
people can come here and they can go right into a bank and get a loan. Why do you think our
And
insurance?
mind you,
Well,
they
ask
don't
yourself
use
this:
their name.
why you think the insurance rates are? You think the insurance rates are so high in this country because the
No,
people in this country don't know how to drive?
no, it's the people that's coming in this country.
That don't know how that we driving over here is something that we learn to do. We can do. In other countries, driving is a foreign language. Like it's foreign to them. But they come here and they have access to shit that they don't even would never have access to in some parts of the world. But then guess who taking the lick for it?
Hmm.
The citizens, the true citizens of this country. You know, it's a lot of stuff that like when I listen to that thing, just to hear like the millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. This man sat there on this thing right here and named off at least 10 maybe 10, 15 different programs where millions of dollars is being funded to, and none of them was in the United States. I think maybe one.
And if I don't know if y'all remember when he was running the second term, everything that he's saying now is what he run off of. He said all of these things then. Because he was able to see, even though they kept him, in trying to impeach that man his first term, but everything that he was speaking, and what they did is when they stole the election from him, that just gave him more time to be able to be better prepared to present, and then have other people to help him because what he had to do, he had to show a little bit of what he was, what he had saw to Elon Musk. Elon Musk didn't just come over on his own. He had to make a believer out of him in order for him to see and come on board. Same with the others. I mean, everybody did not just come over on their own, just on the GP because he's Donald Trump. No,
But you ask
he had to
yourself
show
this,
them.
in Nisa and Mika and Jeff, if this would have been his first turn, his first time running, we wouldn't have never heard of any of these Storm McDaniels, all this others. You'd never heard none of it.
No.
It's the simple fact that he has been here before. He has got access to information that if he is to come back again, they knew what the
That's why they went as far as they did.
They knew what he was going to come. They knew if he had another chance to come back, a lot of shit was going to be unveiled. They knew that. And they said, by all means, like, why do you fight so hard to block somebody? Like, to block somebody running from, like, who has a right to run for a re-election, But you got people fighting so hard to prevent this. Like, what are you trying to hide?
And that's the question, Vi. What you just said. Every black person walked the face of this earth should have been asking that question. What are you trying to hide from us? Forget them, us. Why are you trying to hide stuff from us? Because remember, y'all already said you put it in a book. You miss us every time. So Donald Trump says, since y'all said that, I'm going to expose you publicly.
It's sad, bro. It's sad that, for me, I mean, for us, I mean, every time I work a federal mandated job, a federal job that mandate me to pay taxes on Social Security, Medicare, different shit like that, and to see like what's really going on, like what's
But do
really.
y'all remember Donald Trump's first term? And they was trying, and that's when that woman Letitia James and big dude over there, remember they was trying to say they was doing tax frauding, but remember Donald Trump was showing us then that a lot of the ways that these people are hitting us across the head with these taxes, he figured out what they was doing a long time ago. But they did not. What they was trying to come up with was you evading paying taxes. No, that man ain't evading paying taxes. Y'all been doing this.
You know why they not locking people up for PPP fraud?
Baby, we know why. We know why now.
Because the people who was in office were the biggest benefiters from the PPP fraud. So,
come on.
Say that.
And along with the people that we not gonna lock you up if you tell us how to lock him up.
You know what I'm saying? I was listening to man, this Congress meeting that they had last night with all of the different senators and stuff. Man, you heard these people.
They going left, aren't they?
Hit a Kendrick Lamar verse in the damn meeting, bro. I was like, "Are you serious?
We gonna die. We gonna die. He gonna kill us."
He said the Democrats. Who Joe Biden and what I don't know none of this shit. What they are, Democrat? What
Democrat?
Democrats. So the Democrats probably trying to find a minor. I was like, what the fuck am I watching? Bro, Dude, man, white dude, he was a younger one, but the dude hit a whole Kendrick Lamar verse in the goddamn center of the meeting, like the little with the House Speaker and the other people, all from all different states, California, Texas.
I know Schumer was in there
It was
about
all
to
over. They
die.
was all over. I listened to that shit last night till I fell asleep, but it was interesting, like the different takes. In the Democratic Party are the one really just they finding it hard to like
Baby, they
hard
hallucinating. They
to
having heart attacks,
the shit
leaving
is
the country.
hell.
Yeah, they
Well,
getting
of
up
course
out of here.
you gonna leave the country when you got investments in the country that you going to.
That part.
They trying to find countries where they don't have where they can't be
None had.
extradited.
None
Extradition.
had.
That's what that is.
They
That's
trying
what
to go
that
to
is.
non-had country that don't have extradition in the U.S.
They mad because Trump is he has going to Russell Simmons. Yeah, I bet y'all that y'all mad about that too, huh?
Now you see what they doing. Like it's crazy, bro. I'm sitting here looking at what they doing to Kanye West, talking about putting out a sex tape on. See, when you speak when you a person who speak, and when you speak the way like Kanye, he kind of put me in the mind of Trump. Like he gonna say what he
Yes.
want to say, regardless of who think he crazy. But see, those are to me, it take a delusional person to sit here and say, like, I always, cause I'm big on that. It's never about the messenger with me. It's about the message. Like, what is this person saying? When he came out and talked about the red media the last time when these people was coming at Trump, he talked about all of the networks who worked together to come against Trump and Bill Cosby and all these different, like the
And he
man.
pissed on them awards. He pissed
told-
on them awards.
He was telling people like, but at the same time, first thing.
I think we lost him. Might be back.
Yeah, they were saying this man was crazy because he went live and pissed on them awards. He said, "This is what I think about these awards that y'all have given me." And all of this did not happen until this man started in support of Donald Trump. And then y'all go tell him to come get all of his money out of the bank. Now that's delusional. That's what you call next level crazy.
Right.
And
They
now
sitting up.
too, you talking about a sex tape? Like I don't even believe it. Hey, you got all this
Man,
AI
y'all
stuff
done
out
come
there,
up with a
like
sex tape on your own. You
uh-huh.
got AI, EI, and every other I going on. Y'all can't show me, y'all can't make me believe nothing. Nothing. Because before it was AI, we know y'all was doing all other kind of stuff. These people these people spamming out so bad, it just makes me just ill. I don't understand it. And I told y'all these people got double heads. I'm sorry. I don't know if y'all can see them or not. These people got double heads.
All I think about is all the last 3 years that everybody been trying to figure out why are we just having such a hard time economically. And after this election, and 3 weeks into this new presidency, we uncover all of this fraud and corruption. And the Democrat Party is sit up there just saying, well, who is he to be going through shaking down the government and have all this access
And
instead of asking?
who brought in Fauci? How did Fauci get in here?
Exactly. Why y'all not asking about Dr. Fauci getting pardoned when he the one that sat up there and created the COVID-19 vaccine, which we now understand come from Wuhan, China, that he helped fund to
That
give us
Donald Trump kept calling out when he was in office the first time. And
so did.
y'all don't remember Donald Trump, them taking Donald Trump in the helicopter from the from the White House to the hospital. They said he had COVID. And then when they brought in Joe Biden the first time in the to the White House, talking about they had to clean the White House because they felt like it may have been infested with COVID or what have you, because Donald Trump had COVID. They said he had COVID, but Donald Trump was the first one to get that vaccine.
He was sitting up there telling us it was a bunch of nonsense.
And he was warning us then.
He was warning us then. Don't do it.
News say Trump was the one that coined the phrase Wuhan virus.
He sure did.
Sure did.
Sure did. And now here it comes out, as of a couple
But they
days
want
ago.
us to be stupid. Like, like everybody not reading no more. We not reading anymore. We just going along with what y'all tell us.
Man. Well, this was definitely, man, an enlightening live. I had a great time. We coming up on 2 hours. So I want to kind of close out and because I got to get ready for tomorrow.
You got to go
man.
meet the man.
Yeah. They got to go meet the man, make the donuts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and pay these people some more tax money.
Exactly. So, the good thing about it is, man, Trump talking about,
It's about to be over, y'all. It's about this train that we're on. It's about to be over. We're about to receive, and I'm claiming it in the name of Jesus. We're about to receive a benefit that we haven't expected to receive. God is going to open that door. He's going to use his servant to do it. And I thank God for Trump as being a servant of God. I thank God for him. And I thank God for him allowing Elam to come in and do the things that he's doing. And for the people that don't know, Elam is not just sitting on over there allowing Doge. And for those that don't know who Doge is a group of young people, not just Caucasian people, a group of young people working to expose these old, increpid people that have been stealing from us for centuries. And that's how we're seeing their children's children be so successful and be rich, because they've been stealing monies that belong to us. They've been taken from us.
Right. We sitting here playing the game the right way. You know what I'm saying? Paying our taxes and filing, and if we get penalized for doing the right thing while they stealing and feeding their family with
They're sending
generational
us
wealth.
to jail. Y'all know Rob is sitting in jail right now for taxes and stuff that this man, they're claiming this man, and he could have paid his taxes if y'all have gave him his master.
Exactly. So we got to call them out, call them to the middle of the street, and expose them. And that's what we doing.
And that's what we're going to do. We're going to call them out. And that's everybody. Nobody get a pass, including Crockett over there.
Cause we just know how that is. The ones that look like us in office, they the biggest sellouts it is. So
Just
we don't
hollering and
even
screaming, doing all that hollering, just hollering. Just and you sitting over there with how you get 2 mansions? I want to know that. How you get 2 mansions?
Yeah, they make a salary of $200,000 a year, but leave
Make
office
sense.
worth multiple millions.
And they ain't reporting everything that they get neither. Donald Trump exposed that too. Y'all claim this is what the amount that you come in supposed to be receiving, but that ain't what you leaving that office with.
Oh yeah, and see that's the thing too. All of them, I've been saying it for a while. Al Sharpton, Jasmine Crockett, uh, a lot of these people these politicians that's funny with all of them, they're paid actors. That's all
And
they are.
leave
They get up
Eric
there.
Adams alone. Leave him alone, dude. We hear you over there trying to undercut you. We know what you're doing. You trying to get this man locked up, but the very one you trying to get locked up, don't get locked up first.
Yeah. Yep.
If Pam Bondi say that all charges gonna be dropped, we stand for that. All charges must be dropped today because they bogus charges.
And that's where we go back to weaponizing of the system. So that's where Donald Trump going.
I
Hopefully,
hang my hat on him with that because y'all been weaponizing this system and this is what we got to stand on. We can't be sitting up here letting these people do the stuff that they're doing and then want to call the preacher when it's convenient. No. If you corrupt, you corrupt.
That goes down to the governor, the judges, all of them. And I think that's what he's trying to get to the bottom of, because it's only so far he can go before he blocked. And that's the thing too. Whenever we voting on the local level, we got to make sure these governors and stuff, when we go to vote, because again, Trump is the president of the United States, but they're the president of their state. So a lot of this stuff
And if
starts
you
with the
don't get
governor.
it passed through your state, where it can pass on his level, then we're blocked, and then we're kicking and screaming because we don't understand how politics work. You got to make sure your stuff is in line with what the president is trying to push, and if he's pushing stuff that's going to benefit you, that's why you got to make sure that the people you're voting for is in line with what the president is trying to push.
Yeah.
Because he can only go so far. And I'm seeing right now in Chicago, Chicago is really getting, they're giving Holman hell. They're really giving him hell right now. And they're allowing these, and the AOC is over there telling these immigrants how to beat the system and how to come at our first responders. She needs to be held accountable for that.
Absolutely.
She don't need to have. She don't get the right to do that. You breaking the law, and you took the oath for the American people. You didn't take the oath for the immigrants.
Yep. Well, we better go ahead and try to end this live because Jeff got work in the morning, and he got to get himself situated.
Get you
for
some
tomorrow.
rest.
Yeah.
Make sure you do them taxes right.
I know, right? But yeah, peace and blessings to everybody. Thanks for coming out. This was maybe, as time goes on, I'm pretty sure we're gonna do a part 2 and 3. You know what I'm saying? Because we just getting started with this thing. But I want to thank everybody for coming out. Peace and blessings, and we'll talk to you soon. Look.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Love
night,
y'all.
everybody. Love you.
Yeah. It's the voices for the voiceless, different points of view.